while the rest of the American people are starving. But before we get started with this demonstration, let me read my copyright disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. What that means is that everything that you hear in this demonstration is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Scholarship and research. What that means is that everything that you hear in this demonstration is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Scholarship and research. What that means is that everything that you hear in this demonstration is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Scholarship and research. What that means is that everything that you hear. Salute Top Flight. Salute Top Flight. Salute Brother Nazir. All right, here we go.
If they're there and they're working, they're able to say they did 5 things during work. And that means they're working and they're with us and they have no further obligation. If they're not, it could be there's no such person. It could be that the person's no longer working. They're no longer living at that address. They may be moved. Maybe they moved to a different country, or maybe the person doesn't exist. And we then take that person off the payroll, and we save a lot of money by doing that. But that's one of the only ways. I think it's a very smart thing. And it says, if you don't answer, essentially, there's a penalty to pay, like that's the end of the job.
Musk has said that. The order itself doesn't say that. I think that's part of the confusion. Is he speaking for you when he says...
Yeah, everybody speaks for me. I'm the one, I'll take responsibility.
No doubt, Brother Nazir, no doubt. Salute, Londa. Salute, Londa. In due time, Brother Nazir.
If people are getting paid and they're not working, and, they have a problem. Let's say they have another job, and then they write in false statements. It's a big problem if they write in false, working for somebody else, but getting paid by the U.S. government. And that would mean that they're not allowed to be doing that. They're not allowed to be working for us and be working for somebody else. We're paying them a lot of money. We're paying them. So we'll see. That solves that problem. Most people aren't willing to say that, we're doing this, and this for the U.S. government, and yet they at another job, because that's a big problem for them if they do that. So in some cases, they're not writing back. And if they don't write back, they end up eventually losing their job. We give them.
So this is Trump explaining. This is Trump explaining the emails that Elon Musk sent out to the federal workers. Look, y'all either comply or either y'all lose your job. Saget says, remember in school when you got 80 points just for putting your name on your paper? I remember that. Robert says, how do you turn him off?
Extensions, but that was something we thought about a long time ago. We give them extensions, but we'll see. We have to make sure, number one, that we have people, number two, that they're working, and number two, they're working for us, not for another company.
Is it true that President Zelensky's coming on Friday to meet with you, and is the mineral deal sorted out?
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that he's coming on Friday. Certainly, it's okay with me if he'd like to, and he would like to sign it together with me, and I understand that's a big deal, very big deal. And I think the American people, even if you look at polling, they're very happy because, Biden was throwing money around like it's cotton candy. And it's a very big deal. Look, it could be $1 trillion deal, it could be whatever, but it's rare earths and other things. And look, we're spending hundreds of billions of dollars on Ukraine and Russia fighting. A war that should have never, ever happened. That's a war that would have never happened if I were president. And it didn't happen for 4 years. People say, how do we know that it didn't happen for 4 years? Would have never happened.
So I want to stop right here, y'all. Salute MTGV. Salute MTGV. Yes, definitely doing too much. Now I'm going to stop right here because Trump, he's talking about saving a lot of money. With the tariffs, he's talking about making a lot of money. But as many of you have said to me, Shank, All that is good. However, Trump is eating good off of this money that he's saving and this money that's being made. It's good for Trump and his rich friends. However, it's not good for the American people. Drop a one. Drop a one if y'all agree with that. Drop a two if y'all disagree. Many of y'all have brought that to my attention. Shank, we get it. We understand all of that. However, he's saving money. He's making money only to benefit him and his rich friends. The common American person, the regular American person, we ain't gonna see none of that money. Florida Queen dropped the one. Brother Nazir dropped the one. All right. All right.
And never I went into this situation and he spent money like nobody's ever seen. $350 billion. The other thing that we don't like is that Europe has spent $100 billion. We've spent $350 billion. Europe gets their money back because they spent it in the form of a loan, and we just gave them, whether it's 300 or 350 billion, nobody really knows. They can't even tell me the answer to that, but it means probably more than that. So what we're doing is now we're saying, look, we want to be secured. We want to get that money back. We're helping a country through a very, very big problem, a problem like very few people have had. Shouldn't have had this problem because it shouldn't have happened, but it did happen. So we have to straighten it out. But the American taxpayer now is going to get their money back plus.
Mr. President, yesterday with Emmanuel Macron, you said you had spoken to Putin about the idea of peacekeepers in Ukraine, that Putin was fine with it. The Kremlin, I guess, has said that that's actually unacceptable to them.
Well, that's not what I was told. But you're going to need some form of peacekeeping, so something will be done that's going to be satisfactory to everybody. We need peacekeeping too.
Any situation?
It's actually something I did discuss, but a form of peacekeeping that's acceptable to everybody. Ultimately, we'll be able to agree on something, I'm sure.
With Ukraine and this mineral deal, what does Ukraine get in return, Mr. President?
$350 billion and lots of equipment and military equipment and the right to fight on and originally the right to fight. Look.
Oh boy says, one, Trump ain't it. Everything he say needs to be fact checked. Robert says, number one, shut up. Number two, shut up again. Number three, shut up and stay that way. Brother Nazir says, I don't think anyone who haven't come up through the rank and file should be able to fire a general in the military. In fact, you should have been in the military to command them. I gotta say, I agree with you, Brother Nazir. I agree with you. Sagas says, wait, if you keeping up, you may get a $5,000 check. Its purpose now for taxpayers while he's in. How many of y'all agree with Sagas? They are talking about a $5,000, huh? They are talking about a $5,000 check to be issued. What are y'all thoughts on that? Do y'all agree with Sagas?
Ukraine, I will say they're very brave and they're good soldiers, but without the United States and its money and its military equipment, this war would have been over in a very short period of time. In fact, I was the one that gave the javelins. You remember the javelins? That was me. That wasn't Obama. It wasn't Biden. It wasn't anybody else. It was me. And they wiped out a lot of tanks with those javelins. And the expression was that Obama gave sheets and I gave the javelins. That was a big deal at the time. It wiped out. That was the beginning when people said, wow, that's something. Well, that was American equipment. Without American equipment, this war would have been over very quickly. And American money, too. I mean, a lot of money.
Let me ask y'all something. Let me ask y'all something. Is it me? Is it just me? Or anything that Obama may have done that's good, anything that Biden may have done that was good, is it just me, or do Trump always take credit for what Obama done? I mean, come on now. You know, somebody help me better understand this. Why does Trump, everything that's good, Trump got to put his name on it? Everything that's bad, he got to put it on Obama or Biden. What do y'all think? Like I say, the money I'm with it. I see it. I get it. Trump wants to save money. I get it. Old boy says $5,000 given out. However, they trying to freeze federal funds, etc. Ask your retired family members and vets about that. Brother Nazir says, can you imagine a soldier who trained hard in the military for years to maintain his body having to salute a fat burger eating draft dodger when he steps off of a plane? That's a good one, Brother Nazir. MTGV Crime Podcast says, question, are you still for Trump? That's a good question. That's a good question, MTGV. As of right now, I'm still 70% for Trump and 30% I disagree. Salute, Tommy from Still Swinging Podcast. Salute. So I'm still 70% in agreement with Trump. However, the 30% that I disagree with is still there. Don't throw nothing at me, MTGV. Hold it. Don't y'all start throwing tacos and other stuff at me. All right. Old boy says, I agree about him riding off Biden and Trump. Trump, bro. Damn, bro. It's like every time something is good announced, he got to take credit for it. Now, I'm not saying that he didn't cause it, but all the time, salute Tyson. Brother Nazir says, them quarter pounders are going to catch up with Trump. Y'all seen the thumbnail, right? When I seen that picture, I said, I gotta make this picture a thumbnail. Oh, Lord. Salute Positive Vibes. The Troublemakers has entered the chat. But when I seen that picture of Trump, I said, I gotta make this the thumbnail. Look at this dude. Oh my goodness.
That war fighting equipment and the ammunition, that's sustained going forward for Ukraine, and how long is it sustained?
Well, it could go forward for a while, and maybe until we have a deal with Russia. Look, we need to have a deal with Russia, otherwise it's gonna continue. But now when Americans put up their money, the taxpayer money, and the president approves it, we're getting our money back in some form. But it could go on for a while, or it could be settled quickly. I think it's going to be settled quickly. I spoke with President Putin. I think he wants to settle it, and wants to get on with life. It's horrible. What's happening horrible. Thousands of soldiers a week are being killed. And
I agree. Salute Randall. Tyson says Trump is the big homie. My guy standing on business. I like that pink tie that he got. F Madman Nitty says, point out the troublemakers. Positive vibes is a troublemaker. F Madman Nitty, I advise you to stay away from positive vibes. Anybody you see throwing up them tacos, for everybody that wants me to identify the troublemakers, anybody that y'all see throwing up tacos down there in the chat, they belong to the troublemakers group. If you see them throwing up hot dogs, they all right. MTGV says orange and pink don't go together. I see you, Aunt Esther. Pink and orange don't go together.
others too, but especially in the battlefield. Thousands a week are being killed, and we want that to end. Yeah, Brian?
Yes, okay, real quickly, Carolyn Levitt, your press secretary, sent an earthquake through that briefing room earlier today announcing that the WHCA would not have any control over placing media in the seats in the briefing room. Just want to get your thoughts on that. And also on Air Force One, it's trending on X, people are talking about it. Get your thoughts.
Well, we're going to be now calling those shots. As you know, we won that lawsuit right there. See the Gulf of America, which is a beautiful name. Most people agree. I don't know. It's,
Now, I was against this. If y'all remember, I was against the name changing of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, but he got it done. He got it changed. Let me just explain something to y'all. The one of the most important things that I do like about Trump, and I'm keeping it 100. One of the things that I do like about Trump, like Tyson says, Trump stands on business. Now that's the big homie. Now if there's any homie that I'ma follow and get behind, I'ma follow a big homie like Trump. He stands on business. He bout that dough. Let me just say that. Because business can refer to all kind of business, you know. But when it comes to getting that dough, count me in. I'm with it. I'm with if it's going after that dough, I'm with it. Been with it since I was 12 years old when it comes to the dough. So when it comes to the dough, Donald Trump is the big homie. I don't agree with everything. One of the main things that I don't agree with, that I disagree with, is Elon Musk's position. All right, Shank, you said that you was about the dough. You said that you would follow the big homie if he's about the dough. Well, Shank, that's the whole purpose of Trump bringing Elon Musk on board, to get that dough. And y'all know what? Honestly, I gotta agree with y'all. Esther says, wait until our $5,000 stimulus check hit. Trump and Elon Musk about to make it rain. And y'all know what the people gonna say. If we, and listen to me now, if we get them man, that's gonna be history in the making. If they send out them $5,000 stimulus checks, it ain't gonna be nothing that you could say about Trump. I'm just keeping it real. See, it goes back to what I say about being in our feelings. I'm gonna read your comment, Anna B, and then I'm gonna, get back. Anna B says he likes KFC and McDonald's too. When he wears those big shorts, he looks like an average round middle school gym teacher. Tyson says, if you don't like Trump, reject them checks, please. Now, you know they ain't going to do that, Tyson. You know they ain't going to reject them checks. But on a serious note, y'all, on a serious note, Trump, he's about that business. Like, and I even say he doing too much. When I talk to people and they say, well, name some of the things that you agree with Trump, name some of the things that you disagree. And I always say, in my opinion, he's doing too much. But when you look at it, and you look at it from the perspective of a boss, that's what bosses do. That's what bosses do. So we're caught in the middle, all right? A lot of us are caught in the middle of having morals, good morals, and chasing money, all right? All money ain't good money. But damn, a $5,000 stimulus check? Let me backtrack. Damn, $5,000 might be coming our way. Damn. You know what we can do with $5,000? Now, if you get the $5,000 and you don't make good use of the $5,000, then you can't be mad at nobody but yourself. Now, if you get the $5,000 and you make good use of that $5,000, then I gotta pump my fist to you. And by the way, everybody that's watching this demonstration, if y'all funky asses get $5,000 from Trump and Elon, I'm expecting y'all funky asses to bless my Cash App with at least $100. If we get them $5,000 checks and y'all funky asses don't bless my Cash App, it's going to be trouble, trouble, trouble. But like I said, y'all, like I said, love them. There go another troublemaker. I see you, Shell. I see you, Shell. Salute, Sages. Salute, Sages. Salute, Tari. I see y'all. We got another troublemaker that then pulled up. Please watch out for Positive Vibes and Shell Quaz. They are part of the Troublemakers Committee. Please stay away from those two. Brother Nazir, please let everybody know to stay away from Shell Quaz and Positive Vibes. Tyson says, Trump got re-up money for me. I'm with you, Tyson. I'm with you, Tyson.
He has been terrible. Look, I think they're radical left. I think they're third-rate reporters. I know the specific young lady that works on the account is terrible. She's a radical left lunatic as far as I'm concerned. They don't treat us fairly. That's number one. And number two, they had no right to do that. This is the Gulf of America. And if you look at that shoreline, look at that shoreline. Look, from Florida, well, most of it is, it's called America. And
that's standing on business, y'all. That's standing on business. We got 325 watching with only 17 likes. Double tap the screen, y'all. Double tap the screen and get my likes up. You know I do, Sages. You know I want to cut. I want a cut of everybody's $5,000 money. If you get $5,000 from Trump and Elon, I want $100 from all of y'all. I see y'all. Tari says, if was a fifth, we all be drunk. Ain't that true? Get my troublemakers out of here by throwing up hot dogs. Throw up the hot dogs so we can run away the troublemakers. But on a serious note, y'all, he stands on business. He stands on business. Old boy says we take the money, but we take a hit for our own people. $5,000 to see your own people be hurt or unalive in the streets without a chance of justice. Also, guess who paying that $5,000 taxpayers? Brother Nazir says, get them likes up. Tari says, you are not getting no 5K. Save that one, bro. Tyson says, he doing what he told y'all. You right, Tyson? You right. I mean, the big homie is doing exactly what he set out to do. I can't be mad at a man that go hard in the paint. I can't be mad at a man that stand on business. You see, the Gulf of Mexico is now Gulf of America. For some strange reason, they know not to F around with the orange man. For some strange reason. Go ahead with all that top flight. Tyson says YSL, FBG, Trump. Yeah. Y'all troublemakers, go ahead with all them tacos. Brother Nazir says that's genuine squirrel stomach on his head. Look at that. Tari says, bro, but look at all the people that are unemployed. Now, that's something that I disagree with. That's something that I do disagree with. I disagree with those federal workers being without a job. I disagree with that. I'm with you on that, Tari.
vast majority, like big numbers. So I'm just admiring it as I look at it. I'm getting teary-eyed, but I don't want you to say Trump broke down and started crying.
Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Did we make history? Donald Trump crying? Uh-oh. Anna B says, trust. He's not telling the whole truth. The same way he was elected, the rich will get richer at the poor and middle class laws. I agree. It's Trump. It's the Teflon Don. Donald Trump crying.
No, how beautiful is that? Look at the shoreline. Look at that.
Well,
That's America.
Can I shift our attention to Canada? real quick?
Yes, please.
Last week, I spent some time with two government officials from Canada. And I was asking them how realistic is it that Canada would be the 51st state?
Yeah.
And they told me there is a path. Alberta is first, and if they sign on, Saskatchewan would follow, and then you go west to British Columbia. There is a movement in Canada to join us. Want to get your thoughts on that and how that's perceived?
So it's true. Thank you, Brian. It's true. A lot of people in Canada are liking becoming our beautiful, cherished 51st state. They'll have to pay much lower taxes. They'll have the ultimate security. You know, they don't pay very much for security right now because they rely on us, which is really unfair to us. They make cars that we could make, and they send them back into the United States. They make a lot of things, including the sending of oil and everything. We don't need their oil. We don't need their lumber. In fact, we're going to be freeing up, and I've asked Howard Lutnick to get that done with Lee and everybody, Lee Zeldin, environmental. We're freeing up our forests. We're going to be able to take down trees. Right now, you know, we're so restricted environmentally. We're going to be freeing it up with an emergency order. We have an emergency order, and we're going to be freeing up our forests. We have more forests than almost anybody, and great lumber, great trees. We don't need anybody's trees. We don't need trees from Canada or anybody else. In fact, we have to put the slits, as they call them, the area, you know, 50, 60-yard area in between areas of trees. It stops the fires. And frankly, California should have been doing that for years. It's almost getting late. They're going to run out of forests the way they're going. What a shame. And by the way, the water is flowing in California. I hope you people have seen it. But the water is flowing. Do you have a picture of that? I'd hold it up. Do you have a picture of that? Get a picture of it, please. You know, we had a little skirmish in California. I can't believe we had to do that. But we opened up the water in California. The water was flowing into a place called the Pacific Ocean, which for the Pacific Ocean is only a drop. But for us, it's more water than we can use in California. So I'll get you some photographs, but it's a beautiful sight. The water is flowing in California. Beautiful water from the Pacific Northwest and beyond. And it flows down, and instead of being routed out to the Pacific Ocean, and this has been going on for 20 years more in order to take care of a certain species of fish, which wasn't doing very well without water. So that's a big deal. It's like not reported. It's incredible. But California has a lot of water. That's going to take care of farmers. It's going to wetten up the land. And it's going to go all the way down to Los Angeles, where they have curfews on water, where they have all sorts of blocks on water. You can only use so much. We're going to put until just recently, they were going to put a number of gallons per person living in a house in Beverly Hills on water. You're not going to have that problem anymore. Do you have a picture? Let me just see what that looks like. How beautiful is that? Look at that beautiful water flowing. Look at that. That's coming in the dikes and other means of transportation. Isn't that beautiful? Who would believe that? That's all water they could have had. I went to the governor during my first term and I said, why don't you do this? And they said they have an environmental problem with clean water. If this water were there, you would have had those fires.
Let me ask y'all, how is it that Trump is able, how things that he's pointing out, why nobody else pointed that out? Exactly what was Joe Biden doing when he was the president? What was Barack Obama doing when he was the president? What was these presidents doing different from what Trump is doing? Salute Cotan, salute Cotan. I see you. What? Because, I mean, I've never seen, and I go back as far as Jimmy Carter. I was born in 72. Jimmy Carter was the president. From Jimmy Carter up until Trump, I never seen a president really stand on business, really get in there and point out. Keep in mind, a month. He's only been in there for a month. And all these things that he's pointed out, all these different executive orders that Trump has signed off on, just a month, 30 days, and he's able to pick up and find out and fix this and fix that.
In sprinklers, they make people put sprinklers in the ceiling of a home, and they had no water in them. With this, they would have had a lot of water in them. They would have all been full. That would have had you would have had a whole different deal down there. You probably wouldn't have had a fire, but if it was, it would have been small. Would have been put out. You had the fire hydrants not working in California, so it's a beautiful site. These are canals that were built. These were all built, and you saw them for years. They were empty. Concrete. They call them the V-shapes or the half pipes. And they're shaped different forms, but they're shaped, and they rush down through the farm areas where the farmers can take it, and down to Los Angeles. And they were sitting empty for years. And now look at that way it looked. It wasn't easy. We had to be very unfriendly to get into those areas. We opened it up.
Mr. President.
I essentially attacked California. Can you believe it? I attacked California. Let's go.
At the outset of your administration, sir, you committed to ending the weaponization of government, to holding those accountable who participated in the weaponization of government.
Hold it. This is a good one. Is everybody listening? Deranged Jack Smith. We're going to call it the Deranged Jack Smith signing or bill.
One law firm that provided pro bono legal services to the special counsel's office under Jack Smith's leadership was Covington and Burling. As a result of those actions, we're now going to be suspending and putting under review the security clearances for the attorneys and employees at that firm who worked with Jack Smith's team. And we're going to continue holding the people who were responsible for the weaponization of government, who supported it, accountable for what they did.
And you'll be doing this with other firms as time goes by, right?
We're looking at sort of the whole panoply of options.
The weaponization of our system by law firms, even pro bono work they're doing just in order to clog up government, stop government. And nobody knows about it more than me. And hopefully that'll never happen again.
So the Covington and Burlington?
Covington and Burlington.
Mr. President, may I ask you a question about Europe? So long term, do you plan to maintain the number of U.S. troops?
Wait, I just want to savor this one, please. Who would like this pen? Hey, why don't you send it to Jack Smith?
Donald Trump is going down in history as the most talked about, the most hated on, the most president, the best president that actually said what he was going to do and then did what he said he was going to do. Now, we could spend time talking about the numbers. We can spend time comparing Trump to Obama. We can spend time talking about what Trump needs to do. We can spend time on the things that he's doing is going to backfire the American people. It's a lot of things that we could discuss if y'all want to. Now, we can spend 3 hours on this demonstration. We got 431 watching with only 30 likes. Double tap the screen. Double tap the screen and get my likes up. I don't mind you voicing your opinion, but please, no profanity. If you use profanity in the chat, your message will get deleted. So I don't mind you speaking your mind. I don't mind you voicing your opinion, even if you disagree with me. But please, no profanity. Please, no profanity. And also, if you are interested in the Rock Squad's 3rd annual meet and greet, it's going to be from it's going to be from Thursday, October the 23rd until Monday, October the 27th, October 2025. And it's going to take place in Charlotte, North Carolina. If you are interested in attending, boy, they get mad, y'all. Y'all see, they get mad, especially when my numbers be jamming. You see that positive vibes? You see that positive vibe? They get mad. They get mad at the hot dog man. Why they getting mad at the hot dog man? But you see it whenever, especially when my numbers get to start jamming. Oh, hell no. We got to interrupt this program so this hot dog man numbers can drop. But if y'all are interested in this year's 3rd annual meet and greet, please let me know. If you follow Marty on Instagram, let Marty know. Also, let Miss Parker know if you follow Miss Parker or Marty. Let those 2 Rock Squad members know whether or not you're interested in attending this year's 3rd annual meet and greet. We're reaching the deadlines on, I believe it's the Airbnb. So if you're interested, please let us know. I think people need to learn to communicate better, have proper discussions, and debate with an air of civility and understanding. Anyways, peace be with you. Good luck. Appreciate you for that. Appreciate you for that, my guy. Tannis Jim says, happy Tuesday. Salute, Tannis. I agree. It's a lot going on. Salute, Tannis. Jim, appreciate you for pulling up. So, like I said, when it comes to Trump, he's shaking the trees. He's shaking the trees. Agree with him or not? I think this is his 4th package of executive orders. And for me, the 70% that I agree with outweighs the 30% that I disagree with. And remember, y'all, if y'all get them $5,000 checks, remember, I want $100 of everybody's $5,000 check. My Cash App is $ERICMCINT. I want in. I want in. But y'all give me some comments, and then we're going to get back to Trump in his new executive orders. Real Talk and Raw Truth says, you do know and realize that if you and me were to have worked for decades and put blood, sweat, and tears into something, that we would be the ones that people are itching about. Try not to use profanity, Real Talk. Try not to use profanity, all right? But I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you. I have no problem with the rich eating better than me. Drop a 1, because you might got a valid point, Real Talk. I see you, Coach Art. I see you, Coach Art. Appreciate you for pulling up. My hard-headed moderator, 80s baby. Now, you good, Real Talk. my hard-headed moderator by the name of 80s Baby is at work. Nah, positive vibes, don't salute her because I told 80s Baby's funky ass, take 5 days off. I done told you. I don't know why y'all won't listen to the hot dog man. I told you, 80s Baby, take 5 days off. Salute Suntan. Appreciate you for just passing through. But like I was saying when it comes to Trump, no, let me get back to what he was saying. How many of y'all agree with Real Talk? Real Talk says, I have no problem with the rich eating better than me. Drop a one if y'all agree with Real Talk. Drop a one if y'all don't have a problem with the rich eating better than you. Drop a 2 if you got a problem with the rich eating better than you. Tyson dropped the 1. Real Talk says it's the same thing with free college. I don't have a problem with free college. I also don't pay the taxes, so I don't have much to say on this. But if you're worth the investment, cool. Funny Business dropped the 1. So some of y'all do agree with Real Talk. Some of y'all don't have a problem with the rich eating better than you. Do I got a problem with the rich eating better than me? It depends. Tannis Jim says, I believe the issues run deeper than that. Good point. You care to share, Tannis? Do you care to share with us? Ton says, thanks so much for spreading truth. It's nice hearing this opposed to all the bootlicking, money hoarding, AI slop on here. I appreciate you for that, Tom. Tyson says, the rich put in the work to become rich. They not stopping my money. Good point. If you put in the work, you deserve to eat off of the work that you put in. So I agree with that, Tyson. Funny Business says, what do you mean by better? Do you mean more extravagant or do you mean healthier? Let me get back to you on that, Funny Business, because I want to say both. Real Talk says, I agree with that. It depends. It just depends. All right, let's get back to Trump, and then we're going to get out of here, y'all.
A deranged person.
So what do you say to people who worry that targeting an individual firm or individuals who aren't Jack Smith?
Excuse me, I've been targeted for 4 years, longer than that. So you don't tell me about targeting. I was the target of corrupt politicians for 4 years, and then 4 years after that. So don't talk to me about targeting. Yeah, go ahead.
Mr. President, there are approximately 2 million federal employees right now. By the end of your term, what do you expect that number to be? What would you like that number to be?
Well, it'll be lower, but I can't tell you. Everybody knows I ran on downsizing government, but making government better. I ran on tariffs and making our country rich, and that's what it's going to do. We're going to be doing something else that's going to be very, very good. We're going to be selling a gold card. You have a green card. This is a gold card. We're going to be putting a price on that card of about $5 billion, and that's going to give you green card privileges plus. It's going to be a route to citizenship, and wealthy people will be coming into our country by buying this card. They'll be wealthy, and they'll be successful, and they'll be spending a lot of money and paying a lot of taxes and employing a lot of people. And we think it's going to be extremely successful. And never been done before or anything like this, but it's something that we're going to be putting out over the next, would you say 2 weeks out? Do you want to say a couple of words about it?
Sure.
President, are there any requirements for that gold card? Do you have to invest a certain amount of money in this country in order to qualify for that gold card?
Yeah, exactly.
So the EB-5 program
was really lend some money, but it was full of nonsense, make-believe and fraud, and it was a way to get a green card that was low priced. So the president said, rather than having this sort of ridiculous EB-5 program, we're going to end the EB-5 program. We're going to replace it with the Trump Gold Card, which is really a green card gold. So they'll be able to pay $5 million to the U.S. government. They'll have to go through vetting, of course. We're going to make sure they're wonderful, world-class global citizens. They can come to America. The president can give them a green card, and they can invest in America, and we can use that money to reduce our deficit. Why do we give out lotteries of green cards? Why do we give out EB-5 for green cards? The President of the United States understands that the right answer is, why don't we eliminate the deficit of the United States of America instead?
I agree. I agree. Salute, Perp. Salute, Perp. I agree.
The gold card, well, millions, but the gold card will bring in with it people that create jobs, very high-level people. I think companies will pay to get people in. For instance, you today graduate from the Wharton School of Finance or Harvard or Stanford or any college, and nobody knows if you can even go to work for a company.
Salute God's child blessings. Salute Yvette. Tannis Jim says, I see an issue with cutting off programs to those seniors that have invested in this country and paid their dues. I have a big problem. Will I have Social Security? I sure do pay into it consistently. I agree with you. I gotta say, I agree with you. Lip Stradell says, I'm not starving, making $30 an hour and actually save money for the stuff I want. Meanwhile, y'all are trying to live like kings for somebody else.
So Apple and all these companies that want to get people to be working for them will be able to buy a card, and for the people that are number one in their class at top schools, I see that as one of the things. But generally speaking, it'll be people with money and people that create jobs, and they won't have to pay any tax on income outside of the United States, which they're not paying right now. They're not citizens, but have to pay if they create jobs in the United States. They'll pay full taxes like everybody else. So you're getting big taxpayers, big job producers, and we'll be able to sell maybe 1 million of these cards, maybe more than that. And if you add up the numbers, they're pretty good. As an example, 1 million cards would be worth $5 trillion. $5 trillion.
Wow.
And if you sell 10 million of the cards, that's a total of $50 trillion. Well, we have 35 trillion in debt. That'd be nice. So we'll see. But it could be great. Maybe it will be fantastic. We have it all worked out from the legal standpoint. It's totally legal to do. Hasn't been done before. It's been done in many different forms. We give them away. Why should we give them away? We shouldn't give them away. And I think it's something very exciting. I think it's potentially just something that we're all very excited about. So it's a gold card. It's somewhat like a green card, but at a higher level of sophistication. It's a road to citizenship for people. And essentially people of wealth or people of great talent, where people of wealth pay for those people of talent to get in, meaning companies will pay for people to get in and to have long-term status in the country. And I think it's something we're very, very happy about. Would you have anything to say about that?
Well, many other countries, by the way, do this, including, of course, your 51st state does that.
The money's earmarked for deficit reduction?
It may be earmarked for deficit, but it actually could be more money than that. I mean, if you did 10 million, it would be, you'd have $15 trillion left over. Generally, it's going to be paid down debt, yes.
Do you need Congress for this?
No, we don't need Congress, no, because we're not doing citizenship, we're doing the card. It's a path to citizenship, a very strong path to citizenship, but we're not doing the citizenship. For that, I'd have to get Congress.
And would all countries be eligible for this gold?
Depends. The countries largely, the people will be vetted very carefully.
Mr. President, in Ukraine, would you provide military support for Ukraine in the future under a peace agreement?
Say it again louder.
Would you provide military support for Ukraine in the future as part
You mean
of
like
this
security?
agreement? Yeah.
Well, people are gonna do it. I think Europe will largely be responsible for that. European countries will be
But
responsible.
Macron asked for a U.S. backup.
Well, we'll see. I mean, right now, we're just in the process of negotiating. We've pretty much negotiated our deal on raw earth and various other things. We'll be looking at that security. You're talking about general security for Ukraine later on. I don't think that's going to be a problem. There are a lot of people that want to do it. And I spoke with Russia about it. They didn't seem to have a problem with it. So I think they understand. They're not going back in. Once we do this, they're not going back in.
So you're on that cold part.
Aircraft. Would the U.S. provide, for instance, air defense?
Well, I just told you, right now we're not providing anything. You know, it's about Europe too. Europe put in $100 billion and we put in $350 billion. It's not a fair thing. You know, we would normally say, and I say it now anyway, but we want equalization. They should put up actually more money than us because they're right there. We have an ocean in between. Very good talks with Russia. We've had very good talks with Ukraine, and we think it maybe will come to an end and we'll stop killing young people all over the battlefield.
Once again, y'all, I don't mind y'all voicing y'all opinion. This is an open platform. Even if y'all disagree with me, I don't mind. But please, no profanity. Please, if you got to use the B word, just use the letter B. If you got to use the F word, just use the letter F. If you got to use the S word, just put ish, I-S-H. Once again, I don't mind y'all voicing y'all opinions, giving y'all perspectives, even if you disagree with me. I don't mind, that's fine. But please, no profanity, please. Also, if you're interested in coming out to this year's 3rd annual meet and greet with the Rock Squad, October the 23rd through October the 27th, please see Marty or Miss Parker. If you're interested in attending this year's 3rd annual meet and greet, please see Miss Parker, please see Marty. I'm going to take a few questions. I'm going to take some comments and we'll get out of here. Tannis Jim says, it listed that there are individuals receiving it currently that are over 200 years old. Zachary says, okay, I will respect your platform. I appreciate you, Zachary. I appreciate you. Once again, your opinion, even if it disagree with me, your opinion is welcome. Real Talk says, with what went on under Joe Biden, I believe everybody deserves reparation. Now we talking. Now we talking. And the thing for me is, I wouldn't care who get reparation. See, one thing about me, I only focus on my money. I don't never focus on the money of somebody else. What somebody else might be getting ain't my concern. I could care less whether he getting more than me or whether he getting lesser than me. I'm just concerned with what I'm supposed to get. Real Talk says they should put up more money because they need to catch up on principle. Zachary says, well, classism has been a huge thing since Dr. King times. How many of y'all agree with Zachary? How many of y'all agree with Zachary as far as classism? How many agree? Drop a 1 if you agree with Zachary. Drop a 2 if you disagree. Real Talk says, I believe in freedom of speech, but I also believe in common courtesy. That's respect. That's respect. So, 70% I agree with Trump. 30% I disagree. What about y'all? What percentage of what Trump says and does do you agree with? What percentage of what Trump says and does do you disagree with? For me, 70% of what Trump says and does, I agree with. 30% of what Trump says and does, I disagree with. What about y'all? What about y'all? Talk to me. Let me know the percentage of how y'all feel about Trump. and double tap the screen, y'all. It's important. It's important to get my likes up to 100. We got 480 watching. We got 480 watching with only 56 likes. Just double tap the screen. Get the likes up. Because once it reaches 100 likes, it'll get pushed out into the YouTube algorithm. So double tap the screen for me. I'm not going to hold y'all that much longer. What percentage do you agree with Trump? Do you agree 100% with Trump? Do you agree 80%? 40%? What's the percentage? For me, 70%, I agree with Trump. 30%, I disagree. What about you? Tannis Jim says, I do like his business tactics. Not all of them, but that's what I appreciate about him. That's all I could say. I'm 30-70, with 70 and disagreeing. All right, salute Eric. Eric says, almost everything that he said was the truth, but he's been getting out of hand with the Ukraine stuff. Good point. Real talk is caught in between. Real talk dropped to 3. And I'm with you, Tannis. His business tactics? Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. His business tactics. Yeah. Yeah. You know, Real Talk says, I agree with those numbers. I see you, Miss Bams. One of my troublemakers has entered the chat. Miss Bams is a troublemaker. So y'all stay away from Miss Bams. All right? We done had positive vibes and shell quest in here earlier. But y'all see, as long as we band together, as long as we throw them hot dogs up and band together, we can run those troublemakers out of here. All we got to do is band together and get those troublemakers up out of here. Real Talk says 70-30. Yep. Tannis says he's definitely a businessman. Whether you like him or not, you have to agree he's about business. Miss Bam says no human remains in the chat. Miss Bams, we ran all your people up out of here. That's all I'm going to say. We ran the taco throwing peoples up out of here, Miss Bams. There's only hot dogs over here. Real Talk says, come on, everybody. He's at 47. Double tap the screen. There we go. There go positive vibes. Positive vibes just won't do right. Zachary says 70-30. He had some effed up stuff too. Right. And that's what I'm saying, Zachary. Now I don't agree with everything. You know, 30% I disagree. But because he did do some effed up stuff. So that's where I'm at. You know, I disagree with some things. Tanner says, yep, he's a felon. Now, you know damn well, it's hard for a felon, it's hard for us with felonies to just get a regular job. This fool got 34 felonies, and he got the biggest job in America, the president. Come on, where do they do that at? Real Talk says, I might not like the man, but I like the businessman. Ms. Bams, but the president got a whole R charge. I mean, I'm just saying now. I'm saying now, you know, he was selling his mug shot. See, I like stuff like that because it's about getting money. When it comes to money, as long as you ain't taking nobody's life, as long as you ain't kidnapping nobody, you know, it's certain things when it comes to money. It's certain things when it comes to getting money, I'm against. But other things when it comes to getting money, nigga, get money. Get money. Like I said, since 12 years old, I was on the paper chase. Stealing sneaker bars, stealing candy bars out of the store, taking it to school, selling it for a quarter, 35 cents. Zachary says, reason I brought up classism. Ms. Bam says, and they still hold that against me. Zachary says, I believe we shouldn't have career politicians. Big Belly says, though you was Tyrese. Yeah, even though I was Tyrese. Even though I was Tyrese, Big Belly. Belly. A felon prays. How about that? How about that? How gangster is that? Tanner says he admitted that he likes to violate women by grabbing their V's whenever he's ready. Yeah, that was wrong. Salute Snoopy. Salute Snoopy. Real Talk says he's not perfect, but I don't see him trying to pretend like he is. Good point. Salute Snoopy. Big Bailey says, what we talking about? Ms. Bam says, I wasn't stealing none, but I was damn sure was on that block with the OGs. And then we graduated up from selling candy to, selling grown folks candy. So you missed my main comment. I'm sorry. Salute Tory. Salute Tory. Let me come back. Since you ain't been no troublemaker, I got a 16-year-old sales charge. But the president got a whole, was that it? Rather a press grabbing V's over D's. Y'all crazy, man. Yeah, I jumped off the porch at 12. A felon does not mean you are bad, just means you did something bad. That's true. Ms. Bam says, yeah, that's true. All right, y'all, we only 32 likes away. We got 333 watching. We only 32 likes away from getting me to 100 likes. Double tap the screen and get the likes up. And I said they will hold it against me. Tanner says, it just means you got caught, actually. Right. But, I mean, I'm not going to say we all, but most of us got F's on our report cards. Most of us got felonies. Most of us. Now, it took me, my last felony was 2000 and I believe 3 or 2004. And when I would go to try to get jobs, they would always hold the felony against me and it took me like 2.5 years until I just said, you know what? I'm going to just be honest. I'm going to be straight up. So I was straight up with the work. Appreciate that super chat. Appreciate that super chat, Jay. Jay says, when is the USA will cut all military aid to Israel? Now, that's a good point. When is the USA going to cut all military aid to Israel? Anybody? I don't know, Jay. I can honestly say I don't know, Jay. But that's a good point. That's a good question. Do anybody know when will the USA cut all military aid to Israel? Do anybody know the answer to that? Zachary says they can't cut military aid. Israel right now, just for the pure fact they want to hold a strong point near Tel Aviv. USA give billions of aid annually to Israel. That's true. Tanner says when Trump says. That's true. I mean, and I'm sure that y'all know that the Jews get reparations for the Holocaust from the U.S. Not my problem, drop the 4. What's up with that? When will the U.S. stop paying the Jews reparation for the Holocaust? And I've said it before. The Holocaust didn't even happen on this land. So those are good questions, Jay. Well, one was a good question, and then the other one was a good point. Jay says, when will the USA cut all military aid to Israel? Then he comes back and say, USA gives billions of aid to annually to Israel. Appreciate those super chats. Appreciate those super chats, Jay. Appreciate the super chat, Jay. Jay says, Israel does nothing good for America. Nothing. Now the conversation is getting deep. Now the conversation is getting deep. I'm from Baltimore. Jay says Israel does nothing good for America. Appreciate you, Miss Bams. Appreciate you, Miss Bams. We only 20 likes away from 100. We only 20 likes away from 100. Double tap the screen. Zachary says, I agree, but we accepted military scientists from Germany. That's the whole reason they're back on. Ms. Bam says, I didn't know you was in B-more. I'm in North Carolina. Ms. Bams, but I'm from Baltimore. Yeah, I'm from Baltimore. Zachary says, backing them. Zachary says, looking into it CIA-ish. Use the ish, Zachary. Remember, no cuss words, Zachary. Ms. Bam says, oh, so you even closer to me. Yeah, where your troublemaking ass at, Ms. Bams? Where is your troublemaking ass at, Ms. Bams? Real Talk says, when it doesn't make more money, because mayhem and waste taxpayers' money. Monster says, I ain't trying to be right no more. Zachary says, excuse the profanity side. Nah, you good. Exports and humanitarian aid and more, what you mean? Limp says, their discords and Reddit threads got blown up a week ago. It's all out for you to go read about it. I'll make sure I check that out. Jacksonville, Florida, Duval County. All right, Jacksonville. All right, I see you, Miss Bams. Monster says, what you think about me? Like, seriously, I'm not important. I don't know you, Monster. Real Talk says, the president is supposed to be the father of the country. Zachary says, I'm from